Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and in this video tutorial I'm going to show you how I am turning some leftover wiffle balls into some beautiful ornaments that are going to totally go with everything I've been making for my tree, and I'll show you those other ornaments too. So as you're hopping on, say hello, let me know where you're watching from, feel free to sprinkle, you know, all that normal stuff. Okay, let me tell you the story about these to get started. We're going to be using Dollar Tree rope, this kind and this kind, and one package will do an entire ornament and you'll have a little tiny bit left over. So these are $1.25. So that means your ornaments are going to be costing you something like $1.30, or maybe $1.50, depending on where you get your wiffle balls. I'm going to use buttons. I may use some of this Dollar Tree lace. I'm going to use my favorite natural polished hemp. You could use these little wood things. You could use beads. I mean, there's so many different ways to embellish this. So I'm just doing kind of what my style is. All right, so here's the story. These are wiffle balls that I bought for my 26-year-old son because when he comes over, he likes to hit wiffle balls in the backyard. And for years, he and his brother played wiffle ball all the time in the backyard. And they start at the gate, and if they hit it over the pool, it's a home run. A lot of times they'd hit it into the woods, never to be found again, or over the fence, never to be found again. So while I was at Walmart one day, I picked up this package in the sports section of wiffle balls, and I was so excited to show my son Noah because there were like 3 left. And he felt them, and these are the soft kind. Darn. So I got the wrong kind. And then I didn't know where my receipt was, so I just opted to hang on to these, thinking that I would make snowballs out of them, and we may still do that. But anyways, this is the brand Athletic Works Uncrushable Plastic Practice Balls. These might not even be technically wiffle balls. I don't know. But one great thing about these is they're super lightweight. And unlike using a baseball or something that's going to be heavy and want to pull your tree over, these are great. Okay, so let's start at the very beginning. Let's do one of these, okay? So like I said, this is called nautical rope, and it comes from Dollar Tree. And it is $1.25. All right, and the first thing you're going to want to do is decide how you want to hang it. The first one I made, I used this kind of jute. And then I just decided I don't like that as much as I like this polished hemp. So I'm going to use polished hemp. If you're interested in finding this, I use it with beads all the time. It is from Walmart. It is in the craft section. It's actually on the same aisle that the jewelry making supplies are on. Okay, and then I'm just going to find some random place to thread my polished hemp. I'm going to do a double knot. And this is how we're going to hang it. So you want to do this part first. And then, this is a craft where you can get some nasty hot glue burns. So I recommend, as always, that you use a low temperature hot gluing device. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to hide the tail. I'm going to basically just poke it in one of these holes here. That tail is thick. Yeah, and then I'll start winding it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this hot glue right there, and I'm going to stick my tail that has tape on it in the hole. And then I'm just gonna start, especially up here at the top, you wanna wind it really, really tight. This is sort of like these ornaments that we did with crochet, but we're using rope and it goes a lot quicker. This is a super quick kind of a project. And then you're just gonna keep adding glue and holding your rope down into it. This is pretty glue intensive. And I was kind of thinking, I have not experimented with this yet, but you could also make a tassel and have it hang out at the bottom. So I'm super curious if you guys decide to give this a try. I'm curious to see how you will embellish yours. I tried a couple different things and then I went back to my my favorites. I went back to vintage buttons because that's what I love. So I see lots of people are hopping on. You're probably thinking, oh my word, this is the easiest craft ever. And you are absolutely right, it is. And I just think it's different. I was thinking, here's how this came about. I was thinking, what am I gonna do with those wiffle balls that have been sitting across from me for a long time? And then I was thinking about these crocheted ornaments, how we just basically wrapped and glued that on a glass ornament. And I said, I wonder how it would look to use Dollar Tree rope instead of crochet and to glue it on these wiffle balls. That's kind of how this all came together. I'm sure I didn't invent this. I'm sure somebody else has had the same idea at some point. Probably a mom of boys that had a lot of extra stuff like this. I'm a mom of boys. And yeah, I'm also kind of, well, not kind of, I am definitely frugal. And one of the things I absolutely hate is I hate waste. I hate throwing away something or buying something new when I have something that I can make work for a project. So I suppose I could have donated this bag of what I thought were wiffle balls, but I just decided I'm going to figure out how to make snowballs, and we may still do that. But anyways, so as you are hopping on, say hello. Let me know that I'm not just standing here in my craft room, hot gluing rope onto wiffle balls and talking to my phone. Feel free to ask questions. I'll go over everything again in just a few minutes. This is a super simple craft project. Super simple. And I like the, see how it's coming along? I really like the texture and the look. This color is yummy of this nautical rope from Dollar Tree. I just really like it. It's gonna go on my Christmas tree and be just beautiful. I'm gonna probably make several. So, and my embellishment may not be what your style would be, but I just really want to give you the idea, and then you can run with it. Make it your own, you know, in your colors, your style, all that good stuff. Okay, we're almost getting to the end, and I'm going to show you how to finish it off so it doesn't unravel. And then I'll probably spend about 10 minutes on each ball pulling glue strings off. There. And then we'll embellish this one, and I'll show you more of my ornaments that I got out. And yeah, Okay, so I'm getting down to the end. And what I'm gonna do is figure out where roughly will I want to end it. I think about right here. And I'm gonna, where's my tape? I got some tape out because I'm just gonna wrap some tape around the spot where I'm gonna end it and cut it. And I'll leave that tape on it. You'll never see it, but that will keep this rope from unraveling. It's not long enough. So who joined me for the popsicle stick nativity ornaments? Did you join me for this? I have gotten so many comments about this. So many people saying that they love it, that it's simple but, you know, meaningful, that they're going to do it with their kids, their grandkids, their nieces and nephews, their great grandkids, you know, the neighbors, their church group, brownies. So that makes me very happy to know that idea appealed to all you guys. Okay, so here's the end of it, and it's got tape on it. And I'm just going to put a whole bunch of glue here in this center and pull it around and stick it down. And let's tie a knot here. And look how easy that was. And it's lightweight, so it's not going to tip your tree over, especially if you have a artificial tree. Okay, now you can embellish these however you like. On this one, I brushed on a teeny tiny bit of Mod Podge here and there, and then I sprinkled glitter. This is my favorite glitter in the whole wide world. It's from Walmart Craft Department. It's Sulin's Extra Fine Glitter in sterling color. So that's what I did, and then I brushed it off. And then these buttons on this one are the sort of gray toned, like this, mother of pearl vintage buttons that I have. Some of them have almost like a purpley tone. Some are darker, some are lighter. I didn't have a ton of them, so I'm not going to use this color again. But, and I wanted this to be random, but also balanced. So I started at the middle of the tummy on two sides. And then I went up to the top, and I'm looking at it now saying, wow, I did not do a very good job. And then I just randomly started gluing on buttons. Oh my gosh, look at all those strings. And I think it turned out really pretty. This one right here is the exact same process, exactly. But I used this kind of rope. And then I made a little bow for the top of it using some lace that comes from Dollar Tree. I love this stuff. I use it all the time. And we'll do that for this one. So this is about what you're going to have left. And it's roughly the same with both kinds of rope. You will, if your wiffle balls are this size. I was looking at my packaging here to see if I could tell what size these are. And it does not, it doesn't say, it just says uncrushable plastic, uncrushable practice balls. So if your wiffle ball was a little bit bigger, then, you know, you would maybe use a little bit more, but this is what was left. So I don't know how big your wiffle ball could be that you wouldn't be able to do a whole ornament with one rope. Okay, so let's start with a bow. And what I've been doing a lot lately, because it's just so darn easy, is I've been using my magnoliadiy.com tassel maker. You can make tassels so quick and easy with these, but you can also make like a bow. And I'll show you how I do that. And you can make them in different sizes. Okay, so here's the center of my piece of lace, and I'm putting it, let me hold this up. The center is right here. And then I'm just going to wrap it around however many times I can on both sides. Well, I did not get that very centered. Okay, and then I'm going to take another little piece of this lace, and I'm just going to tie a knot in this center right here. I'm going to pull these tails nice and tight. You can see where I'm going. Pull it off. And then I'm going to pull this knot a little bit tighter. Double knot it. Cut off the excess. This is going to be hidden, this back part. And then I need to make my tails about the same length. Okay, here we go. And then I just pull, there's 3 little loops on each one. You can do this with bigger ribbon too. And let's glue it on here, and then we'll start adding buttons. So you could adorn this really with any bling, buttons, some of these little wood shapes. I looked at these. You could use these, any of these that are Dollar Tree. You could use beads. You could use a ton of different things. But I'm going to use what I love, which is buttons. I love buttons. So let me find, and these are not mother of pearl. Come to find out, I bought these for $25 at my favorite little antique shop, Queen of Hearts. They are abalone, and I did not know that. Just looking for a variety of sizes. And you can really tell that they're abalone. My ring light's a little bright, I'm sorry. So I'm going to use 2 of these bigger ones that are abalone, and I'm going to put one right here in the center. And then I'll put one as near as I can to the opposite side. Okay, and then let's go low, but go on opposite ends. Let me see what else I can find here. Do I have 2 more like this? Yes, I do. Perfect. Okay, so I guess the center would be right here. And you can have the little holes in the buttons go horizontal, vertical, winky wonky, absolutely whatever you like. Sometimes I pay attention to that, most of the time I do not. Okay, so now let's just add a whole bunch of random little buttons. And this set has these precious, they almost have kind of a yellow tint to them. They're teeny weeny, they're abalone. So let me grab a whole bunch of those here. I get questions from people all the time about where do you get buttons? And you know what? It's just, most of the time I find these buttons either at an antique store or we have a antique market that's once a month. There's a button lady that goes there. So sometimes I'll buy buttons then. I have never had any success finding buttons at a thrift store, but I know some people have. You can also cut them off of old clothing that you might have. You can order them on eBay. You can order them on Etsy. You can order them on Amazon. I kind of like my buttons in groupings of 3. So let me get a bunch on and then we'll go on to the next little part here. Some of you guys have told me that you inherited your mother's, your grandmother's, your great aunts, somebody's buttons, and I think, oh, that sounds so wonderful. I probably could have, but at the time my grandmother was still living, I did not know that I liked buttons. And so I don't know what happened to all her beautiful sewing things. Okay, so I've got a bunch of these on, and now I'm just gonna look. I know there's a bunch of these beautiful buttons that are kind of engraved. Let me just find a whole bunch of those. And we'll just start plunking them on here and there. So tell me in the comments if you are one of those super fortunate people who inherited buttons, or also tell me if you can remember being a child and playing with your mom or your grandma's button collection. I don't have those memories, but a lot of you guys have told me that you remember doing that, and I just think, oh, the good old days. When people used every single thing and they reused things. So when a garment was completely worn out, they didn't just throw it away. They took the buttons off of it to be reused for something else. And I just love that. Just kind of looking here and there to see where I could add something else. Let's see, what else do I have in here? Let's add. The hardest part about doing this kind of a project is knowing when to stop. So I'm gonna stop. But look how pretty that is. like buttons, if you like this very neutral kind of color palette that I use for my decorating, this is just beautiful. And I don't think you would see it and say, ah, I bet that is Dollar Tree nautical rope and a wiffle ball. I bet you would never guess that in a million years. So let me show you the other ornaments I have here. These are just a few of the things that we have been making. These are a couple of glittered pine cones. And I made more. These are a couple of little stuffies that I stenciled using the snowflake stencil from magnoliadiy.com. And then I added glitter. Not everything on my tree is going to have glitter, but a good percentage of it will this year. And then I have these, and I have a ton of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph ornaments over here in my box that I opened and showed the other day. I also have a ton of stars. Some have, or snowflakes, I don't know, either one. They're made out of clips. And so they're very natural looking. And some of them have glitter and some of them do not. So I have a lot of this color, a lot of cream, a lot of gold and silver. And I think I'll proceed to make a few more. Now that I've actually done this, I think my favorites are these two. And I think the reason for that is because I absolutely love the little thing of ribbon on the top and then the cream mother of pearl buttons. So tell me what you guys think. Is this a project that you would ever attempt to do? You could, of course, embellish yours in whatever way you might like, with bright colors or red and white or green. You could do a bright colored ribbon. So there's a ton of options with this idea. And they basically started with some unlikely ingredients. Number one was wiffle balls or practice balls, whatever you want to call them. These are not the kind of wiffle balls that my son likes. So then you're going to need some Dollar Tree rope, and one package of rope will do a whole ornament this size of wiffle ball, and you'll have a little bit left over. Then you're going to need hot glue. You're going to need something for your hanger, and I'm using my favorite, natural polished hemp. Then whatever kind of buttons you might want. I used this from magnoliadiy.com and some of this Dollar Tree lace to make my bows. And that's pretty much, oh, and a low temperature hot glue device. So, what do you guys think? Tell me in the comments if you think you'll do something like this. You can also tell me if you think this is just a ridiculous craft. I like to do things that are different and that that involve something that I can repurpose, because that's that thing in me that doesn't like to throw it or waste anything. Throw anything away or waste anything if I can figure out something to do with them. So tell me what you think. Is this idea a good one, or is this idea completely silly? And my feelings won't be hurt either way. If you do decide to do it, I would love to see pictures. So, you know, I have that group that I set up for all of us to share pictures of our craft projects, to get more ideas and inspiration, and to share inspiration with like-minded people. The name of that group is Dreamy DIY. Those are 2 words. Dreamy, D-R-E-A-M-Y, space DIY. So if you just type that in the search bar on Facebook, it'll pull up the group. There's 3 questions for you to answer, and then either myself or my admin will admit you to the group. And then you can just click on the photos button, get a Diet Coke, a coffee, a cup of tea, a glass of wine, whatever beverage you might like to enjoy for an hour or so, and you can just click through the photos. There are so many fabulous projects that you guys have that are members of that group already have shared there, and I would love it for you, if you're not a member yet, for you to hop over there to join that group and then to share your craft project ideas with all of us too. Okie dokie. Do this, or say something to me in the comments. Check to see if you've liked and followed this page. If you're watching on YouTube, I would love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel, and feel free to ask questions, to like the different posts. I have probably close to 1,000 craft videos over there, and it's a little bit easier to find what you might be looking for than if you're digging through videos on Facebook. So anyways, my YouTube channel is DIY Dreaming with Hiedi Scott, basically. Okie dokie. Thank you so much to whoever did the stars. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day. Be looking for photos later. I'm going to make some more because these are cool. I'll post them here in the comments as well as just on DIY Dreaming. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I don't know what we'll be doing, but we'll be doing something fun. So I hope to see you back here at DIY Dreaming tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Alrighty, take care.